their championship invalidated. That's what should have happened.
Yep.
The Major League Baseball didn't do it. And that's the thing. Again, let's delve deep into your psyche. Okay?
Yeah. Are you mad at the Astros now, or are you really mad at the MLB for letting them hold on to that title?
Yeah, and the same players that did that are on the team now.
That is correct. I think that's part of it, because when I watch, I feel like they never got their comeuppance. You watch these same players and you're like, you guys cheated, and you admitted to it, and you never paid for it. So that, yes, that is part of it.
But
on
that's
the
what
other
it means
hand,
then.
that's what I was going to say. On the other hand, though, so I think here's the unfortunate part about it. They're the think, though, of maybe then the league's inaccuracies. So if the league had done more and had stripped them of it, then maybe when I looked at these guys, I wouldn't immediately think, cheater, you don't deserve it.
You would think that Major League Baseball would have made the Astros forfeit because of the cheating scandal. You're absolutely right. Incidentally, here we are, 2021, World Series. If it happened today, would the outcome be different? Only, well, if it hadn't happened in 2020. No, if it happened today, for the first time, yeah. No, probably the league would handle it the same way. If it happens again, I think you'll see the league impose more realistic punishments. But
and I don't think, and Wayne, correct me if maybe you've heard other people saying it, but I don't think Dodger fans are saying take it away from the Astros and then give it to the Dodgers. No. It's just simply strip it from the Astros.
Yeah, there would be no winner. There would be no champion for that year. I disagree. It's a forfeit, which means the team that's left wins. Well, that's another way to handle it. And that's what happens in football. Yeah, if there's a forfeit, the other team wins automatically. Yeah, but this is something different, and I'll tell you why. I think Jen's point is well taken, is I don't think that the Dodgers are mad because the Astros got something they didn't earn. That's the view, because they were stealing sun.
Yes.
If then, because of administrative punishment, the Dodgers are handed a championship, you can't really say the Dodgers earned a championship. No, but it's an asterisk. So, well, that's what I'm saying, but it should be an asterisk that just there was no winner that year.
Right.
And they were stripped of that title. All right, so but it doesn't say, here's the thing. That's over. It's over. You're certainly not saying the Astros don't deserve to be in the World Series this time, that they didn't earn their place in the World Series this year.
I'm not saying that at all. But as to who will I cheer for tonight, I'm going to cheer for the Braves and not the Astros.
And that's fine. And the point is, how you feel about it now is entirely a personal thing.
Yeah.
By the way, this is all happening because somebody was at the Washington Post wrote a big column about, should we forgive the Astros? No. And here's all the reasons why. And I'm like, people, you have to just decide how you feel about it. I want to bring up 2 points. One is clearly who you think is going to win. And, those are always dangerous waters. And Las Vegas likes Houston. And Las Vegas really likes Houston. I guess if you look at everything that you can glean from the season, and you're forcing me right now to kind of predict, I guess I'd go with Houston.
See, I hate to say I agree with you, Wayne, on that one, but my gut says Houston. However,
but baseball's one of those games where you put your game face on and we came here to play.
And
there's that too.
There's that.
But it's one of those games where literally a couple of perfectly timed backswings completely reverses the momentum. So,
and being married to a Braves fan, I can tell you the Braves want this. It's more of a, we haven't had this since 1999. We are here. We are going to do it this time. I mean, kind of the determination, the psyche behind the team and the fans is very different than the Astros. So we'll see maybe if that plays into it.
All right, we are done. See, sports talk. We can do sports talk.
That's good.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Feels good.
Yeah, great. So now, those people that were listening to LA Sports on the other station over there down the hall, you can now.
They're nervous. They're nervous.
Coming up, Minneapolis residents are voting on a ballot measure to, not just defund, but replace the police department. No more police for you, Minneapolis. That's what's on the ballot. This is KFI AM 640, and when we come back, your chance to win some money. All right, Jennifer Jones-Lee.
The top Democrat in the Senate thinks a deal on President Biden's big spending bill is close. Chuck Schumer says negotiations seem to be nearing an end. A guy from North Carolina has been ID'd as the fifth victim of serial killer John Wayne Gacy. The body of Francis Alexander was found in the crawl space of Gacy's home in 1978. Gacy killed 33 boys and men during the 70s and hid the bodies throughout his home. And MasterCard's about to give a cardholder a choice between redeemable points and digital currency. The credit card company says customers could get cryptocurrency, which will give them a digital asset that can grow or shrink in value. We're checking out your drive with BKFI in the Sky in the 5 next.
Two things are happening in the world of real estate and mortgage rates. Mortgage rates still ridiculously low. They have not gone up. In the meantime, the value of your house certainly has, with the explosion in home values. So, tons of equity, very low interest rates. What do you do with that? Equity is making no money. Why don't you take the equity out of your house and then move it into some kind of an investment vehicle? Make something. And if you're smart, you're going to make quite a bit. That makes sense. And I'm going to suggest you call the folks at HMS Capital. Why? Because with their razor-sharp interest rates, they're confident they're going to earn your business. Matter of fact, Mark Tice, the president, suggests you also apply with a competitor company. And his, because he knows you're probably going to go with him. I certainly did. I have two mortgages with HMS Capital. No appraisal, no application fees. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a DBA of Goldman & Finance, criminal ID number 2427. HMS Capital is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 4130360. Equal housing lender.
Now through November 1st, lease a 2022 BMW 330i sedan for $449 a month for 36 months, with $39.99 due at signing. See a Southern California BMW Center today for details, or visit SoCalBMW.com.
SoCal weather from KFI, sunny with highs from the mid-60s to right at 70. This report is brought to you by the Southern California BMW Center. We're watching your ride on the 5.
Southbound before Crown Valley Parkway, you've got a crash still blocking the right lane. Traffic stop and go from El Toro Road. Also in Irvine, trouble on the 405. Southbound just before the 5. The crash blocks the carpool and the left lane. You're slow here from Culver Drive. Downtown LA, eastbound side of the 10 at the 110. A crash blocks the right lane. You're on the brakes from Fairfax. And in Norco, an injury crash working on the 15 southbound after 6th Street. That's been cleared from the left lanes, but traffic still stops to go from Cantu Galliano Ranch Road. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph.
This report is sponsored by the Auto Club of Southern California. Are you paying too much for auto insurance? Visit AAA.com/insurance for a free quote and find out how much you could save. Find competitive rates on auto insurance through the Auto Club. Visit AAA.com/insurance today.
If you've been denied for a mortgage because you can't show proof of income or employment, Equinox Home Financing is for you. They have a new mortgage service, don't need proof of income or employment verification, and it doesn't matter if it's for a purchase, a refi, or a cash-out refi. So if you finally want to get qualified for that home loan, you need to talk to the team at Equinox Home Financing. Call 1-855-LOAN-455 or go to equinoxhomefinancing.com.
Licensed by the California Department of Real Estate and the California Department of Financial Oversight, NMLS number 1212805.
You're tired of your car. You want something new, and you want it now. No problem. Roto has your back. That's R-O-D-O. Sell your old car and get into a new one right from the comfort of your couch. Use the Roto app to browse thousands of vehicles from local dealers for the best deal on the wheels you really want. Roto, the fastest, easiest way to buy or sell a car. Download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's ROTO.com.
You know, most people think that varicose veins are just embarrassing. They're just a cosmetic issue. Hey, it's Dr. Wendy Walsh. You should know that if left untreated, varicose veins can cause ulcers, infections, and even dangerous blood clots. West Medical specializes in the most advanced, minimally invasive varicose vein treatments available, and it's covered by most PPO insurances. So call 1-800-WEST-MED or westmedical.com to set up a free consultation with a vein expert today.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Amazon Delivery Service Partners are hiring full-time delivery drivers to meet growing customer demand. Earn at least $19.50 per hour at select stations, plus benefits. and a sign-on bonus of $2,000 from participating DSPs if you apply now. Apply today at www.amazon.com/driver. That's www.amazon.com/driver. No delivery experience required. Terms apply. Hourly rate includes a limited time incentive for delivering a route full-time between October 17th to December 25th, 2021.
Do you need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only, with over 53 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and 0% deferred interest financing. Visit waterheatersonly.com. That's waterheatersonly.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Should kids and teens get the COVID-19 vaccine?
Is it safe for my daughter?
Have they been thoroughly tested?
Will my grandson be okay if he gets vaccinated? He's still developing.
The short answer to all these questions? Yes. The COVID-19 vaccine is proven to be safe and effective for ages 12 and up. Feeling good about the facts? Visit myturn.ca.gov today to schedule a vaccination appointment or find a walk-in clinic near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. Is finding the right candidate slowing you down? Cut straight to You're Hired with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in the same place. To find your next great hire, visit Indeed.com/credit.
Well, you've heard me talk about my friends at Sunday and how they can sell your home fast without any repairs, without the hassle of dealing with showings, realtors, cleaning, or making upgrades. Now Sunday has made the process even easier for those who want to sell a property fast. Contact Sunday for your free no-obligation cash offer. They're going to visit your property, take photos, and do a 3D walkthrough. They'll package your property details and send it to the thousands of local investors in their database who are actively looking to buy properties. The average homeowner receives 12 offers on their property. It's quick and easy. Plus, you can close in as little as 10 days, or they have the flexibility to close in months. They can even give you a $20,000 cash advance, which will help with moving costs when you sell with Sunday. Go to Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com, or phone them, 800-25-OFFER. Get a free no-obligation cash offer at Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com. Sunday is a California licensed real estate brokerage, DRE license number 020-88298.
You ever drive past the sewer treatment plant on a warm day? One of them always says,
Who didn't take a shower and put your shoes back on?
This is why I don't have a family. You've got like a car full of kids smelling stuff.
oh, they also make windows in cars now.
Take a shower.
Jerry and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m.
Put your shoes back on.
on KFI.
Good morning, everybody. Joe Handel here. It is a Tuesday morning, October 26th. We'll start with your chance for some bucks.
KFI has your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword EASY, EASY, to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's EASY to 200-200.
And if you win, you get a phone call from a number you do not recognize, which you must answer, or otherwise you haven't won. And it's every weekday for your chance to win, 20 minutes after the hour between 5:20 a.m. and 7:20 p.m. So if you don't win this time around, next hour, 14 of these per day, Monday through Friday. Something's coming up on November 2 in Minneapolis. And Minneapolis is one of the poster child cities for looking at excessive police force, as you know. So what is going on? There is a measure in front of the city called Question 2 that would amend the city's charter to get rid of the police department. Not defund it, which means taking away some of the budget or spending less money, diverting money into social problems. I mean getting rid of it and replacing it with an agency that provides, quote, a comprehensive public health approach to public safety. So, okay, sounds good. How about some specifics? Well, per Measure 2, that is going to be decided later by the mayor and the city council. So all that would happen is no police department. And then the mayor, city council, you figure out what you want to do with this. Now, supporters say it's going to bolster public safety and would include police officers, although it doesn't say anything other, no police department. It would include police officers. We don't know how many, to what extent they're armed, for example, but also mental health and substance abuse experts, violence interrupters, and people who are better suited to handle situations that armed police officers ordinarily face. That's right from the argument in favor. And, of course, the whole goal is to reduce police calls involving homeless people and people that have mental health issues, people that have substance abuse issues. And the opponents have said, look at the wording. It is so vague that it makes no sense. If you're going to be specific, be specific. Now, I think something like this is downright stupid. And I'll tell you why. Why would you get rid of police officers when you can change the way policing is done by adding mental health practitioners? So you have a dispatcher that gets a phone call, someone crazy running around, out of control, no weapon, just someone who is just not there. So you send out a cop in case violence ensues, and you send out a mental health expert. And so you still keep your police department. I mean, it just makes all the sense in the world. I mean, this makes no sense. And, of course, all this pressure happened in Minneapolis after the killing of George Floyd. And I love what the language of the ballot measure says, because, as I said, it's a brand new concept of policing, which may not include police. And the ballot measure, this is the language of the ballot, says that this new department in Minneapolis could include police officers if necessary. What is that about? We get rid of the police force. Maybe we'll have cops on this new agency, which we're certainly not going to call the police force, because that very language itself evokes fear and hatred and reminds us of police misconduct and police brutality. And that's Minneapolis. Man, I got to tell you, this is a city that, granted, has suffered a lot in terms of, the police brutality, but still, come on. Really, guys? Really, guys? November 2, it's going to happen. I think it's going to fail miserably because rational people are going to realize you can't get rid of a police department, even though the general consensus is, of course, there'll still be police. You can't outrun a city without police. But do you really want the mayor and the city council to determine at a later date how many cops, to the extent of police enforcement, how many cops are to be armed, for example? You know, when you go to England, it used to be the bobbies. Remember that? The Roberts. Or in the Hispanic areas of London, the Robertos. And they had those great hats, and they weren't armed. They had their billy clubs or their William clubs or whatever the hell they call those. I think Minneapolis wants to follow that motto. Oh, I think they don't do that in England anymore because, hey, what can I tell you? Now the world has changed completely. Coming up, the public health policy at the center of the U.S. border fight. Have you heard of Title 42? I'm going to explain what that is and how anomalous it really is. And it's just an interesting way of attaching federal statute to a problem that exists right now. This is KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
The LAPD and LA School District are investigating an alleged sexual assault at a high school in West LA. It's alleged to have happened last week at Hamilton High and potentially involved several students in the boys' restroom. News is brought to you by Rooter Hero. A man's been arrested for allegedly plowing through a crowd of vaccine mandate protesters in Palmdale.
LA County Sheriff's officials say at least one woman was injured when the man drove his Jeep Wrangler into the group who was protesting against vaccine mandates. Deputies were called to the scene Saturday afternoon, and the injured woman was taken to a hospital and released a short time later. The man got away, but deputies say about 90 minutes later, they found him and booked him on $50,000 bail. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
A celebrity on TikTok has pleaded not guilty to killing his estranged wife and her friend in San Diego. The shootings happened last Thursday in a high-rise apartment building. Prosecutors say Ali Abulaban had a listening device on his daughter's tablet, and when he heard his wife and another man talking, he went to her apartment and shot them. The man has nearly 1 million followers on TikTok. A study at UCLA suggests breastfeeding may protect the brain against diseases such as Alzheimer's. Assistant Professor Molly Fox said the study shows women over 50 who had breastfed performed far better on cognitive tests.
We were excited about this finding because of the possibility that breastfeeding could be protective for brain health later in life.
Fox says many studies have found benefits from breastfeeding for the baby, but not many have looked at the benefits for the mother. And the Treasury Department wants to crack down on racial inequality in the financial industry.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says a former J.P. Morgan Chase executive has been hired to head a new government program. Janice Braffler will be the department's first counselor for racial equity, part of a multi-pronged strategy by the Biden administration to deal with systemic racism found in many parts of the economy. Banking and finance have long had issues with racial inequity, from the lack of representation of minorities at the highest levels of companies to ongoing issues of getting equal access to services for non-white borrowers. Deborah Mark, KFI News.
Much like many days, the 405 is not pretty this morning.
That's for sure. Southbound before the 5. This is in Irvine. A crash blocks the carpool and the left lane. You're still stop and go from Culver Drive. Mission Viejo, big troubles on the 5 southbound before Crown Valley Parkway. An accident blocks the right lane. You're slow here from El Toro Road. In El Monte, the 10 westbound at Durfee, a crash blocks the carpool lane. You're on the brakes from Azusa. Downtown LA, the 10 eastbound at the 110. Accident blocks the right lane. You're slow from La Brea. And a crash working in Compton now. The 91 westbound at Avalon. The right lane is blocked. You're on the brakes here from Long Beach Boulevard. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph.
Homeowners, with all the craziness in the world right now, want some good news? Mortgage rates continue to drop and are at near all-time lows. If your interest rate is higher than 1.75%, you need to call True Mortgage now. We're offering a 15-year fix at just 1.75% rate, 2.140% APR with no lender fees. That's right, no title fees, no escrow fees, and no appraisal fees. So what are you waiting for? Call True Mortgage now to see how much money you can save. But hurry, because this low 15-year fix at just 1.75% rate, 2.140% APR with no lender fees won't last long. Call 800-620-1162. 800-620-1162. That's 800-620-1162. Or visit TrueNow.com.
Sign on the Light Inc. DBA True Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply. Based on loan amount of $400,000 monthly principal and interest payments. Primary residence only with a 50% loan to value. All loans subject to underwriting approval and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Law License number 60DBO44713 and NMLS number 1626699.
SoCal weather from KFI. Mostly sunny today with highs in the mid-60s to right at 70. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
I am one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC.
Which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body.
I am living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Have you been denied a home loan or refinance because you're self-employed, earn 1099 income, or even a real estate investor? You're missing out. Most lenders make approval seem impossible, especially if you're self-employed. Stop watching everyone take advantage of the lowest mortgage rates in history while you're stuck on the sidelines. Accelerate Capital, the premier lender designed for the self-employed. Our approval process is based on common sense, using bank statements, 1099 income, profit loss statements, rental income, or even stated income to qualify at the lowest rates available. Fast. Conventional lenders cannot do this. When others say no, we say yes. Call 800-811-9702. 800-811-9702. Or visit acceleratecapital.com.
EXCELE, acceleratecapital.com.
Equal housing lender. Call for details. NMLS ID number 1165716. Not all will qualify. California DFCI license number 41DDO45150. Additional restrictions may apply. Loans made or arranged pursuant to the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
You know, for the past 10 years, you have generously given to Katerina's Club, raising millions of dollars and hundreds of tons of food.
But here's the thing about hunger. It doesn't end with one meal.
The kids still need to eat every day, and KFI remains committed to keeping those children fed. Pastathon 2021, our 11th annual, is coming soon.
Join us on Giving Tuesday, November 30th.
On KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
This is KFI AM 640. Bill Handel on a Tuesday morning, October 26th. Some of the big stories we are following. An advisory panel to the FDA will vote today on whether to move forward with authorizing vaccines for kids ages 5 to 11. Now, this is an advisory panel that the FDA then takes into consideration before it votes an official authorization. In this case, would be emergency use authorization, and we'll see what happens. Usually, the FDA follows the recommendations of the advisory panel. And tonight, Game 1 of the World Series between the Atlanta Braves and the beloved Houston Astros. And there'll be plenty of trash can lids that will be brought to the studio, to the station. Excuse me, what am I thinking here at KFI? Will be brought to the stadium, and you hear a lot of banging because, of course, the cheating scandal in 2017, where the Astros stole information and they just cheated, and part of it were the banging of trash can lids to determine what pitch is being thrown. I mean, it was just pretty crazy. I want to spend a minute talking about Title 42. You've heard that being bandied about when it comes to immigration. And what it is a decades-old health statute, which is really at the center of what the Trump administration did with the border. And citing the threat of COVID, the U.S. government has, over the last year and a half, carried out 1.3 million deportations of migrants at the border without letting them request asylum. They can't even request asylum. And that is, the basis of that is Title 42, which is a section of the U.S. health statute where it had been originated, and it's met with all kinds of legal, political challenges, but guess what? It still remains on the books. And it's still being used by the Biden administration. And it's one of the main reasons that border crossings are way up. 1.7 million people detained at the southwest border in 2021, the fiscal year ending September 31, the largest total for apprehensions in Border Patrol history. And here's why. Because the way that the Title 42 expulsions work, and they're throwing people out instantly, makes it easier for people to try to cross over almost immediately. So this was written in 1944, Title 42, and it gives the U.S. Surgeon General the authority, later transferred to the CDC, to determine whether communicable disease in a foreign country poses a serious danger of spreading in the U.S. And if the CDC finds that it does pose a threat, like the pandemic, it can, with the approval of the president, temporarily prohibit anyone from entering the country to avert the danger of infecting the residents, the citizens of the United States. Exactly what happened at the beginning of the pandemic. We go back to March 2020, surging deaths from the disease. So what happens? The Trump administration puts forward what was considered at the time and still considered a novel interpretation of Title 42. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents could immediately remove anyone entering the country without authorization. Why? To prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Incidentally, it supersedes all U.S. laws,
including the laws that give immigrants, migrants, the right to seek asylum, even though they have the absolute right to seek asylum. Title 42 supersedes that. And under Title 42, people that are illegal that have crossed the border don't even receive a formal order of deportation, which has never happened before. What happens is agents take what's called biometric information, give a physical. Agents, not doctors, Border Patrol agents, and they perform some kind of cursory health check for COVID. Takes all of 90 minutes, and then gone. Returned to Mexico, right over the border, dropped off, or if they're from Central America or South America or any place else, Haiti, it doesn't matter, they're flown there. The government actually charters planes and flies them to their country of origin. So how did Title 42, how was it first applied? And clearly the CDC was under great pressure because they were against doing this. Well, there was a certain Vice President Mike Pence who pressured the CDC and ordered the director to use the emergency powers to effectively seal the border. It was the Trump administration. It was Mike Pence who did it. And then the entire issue of traveling without a parent, that was crazy. Under Title 42, the Biden administration exempts unaccompanied minors, as you know. So parents traveling with their kids and single adults are blocked from entering the country or are expelled as soon as they get over the border, gone under Title 42. And children traveling with extended families, grandparents, aunts, uncles, they're not considered family units. So they can be separated at the border. That's how kids were separated at the border from their parents or from extended families. And even from their parents. Why? Because under the Biden administration, unaccompanied minors are allowed to enter, their parents not. I mean, it's pretty crazy stuff. So where does the legal battle stand right now? Of course, lawsuits are all over the place. Well, last month, there was a lawsuit in response to a lawsuit filed by the ACLU. A U.S. district judge in Washington, D.C., found that migrant families are subjected to Title 40, that are subjected to Title 42, that fall under Title 42, face real threats of violence and prosecution, or persecution, that's a quote, and are deprived of statutory rights to seek protection in the U.S. And it's really interesting. The judge also found that under law, Title 42, it does grant the government authority to turn away people seeking to enter the country, but it does not permit expulsions of people already on U.S. soil. And this is the big one, right? There is, so that's the proponents of saying that expulsions of people already on U.S. soil cannot be turned away, cannot be exported, cannot be deported right there. So you think that there'd be fights against that, of course, keeping people, making sure that even those people are to be deported when they enter the country illegally. You know who's fighting that? The Biden administration. They want to keep Title 42 alive and throw people out. Let me tell you, Joe Biden with his open arms, we love you, he's throwing people out like crazy. Also, you know the president that threw out, deported more people than any other president in recent history was Barack Obama. Now, how's that one? So, which way is it going to go? Well, all of this, of course, that is accompanied with the Remain in Mexico policy, which is still on the books, which is still the policy of the Biden administration. And so you have the borders, actually they're more secure because there are fewer people that are actually crossing into the United States or being able to ask for asylum, although there are some exceptions under the Biden administration. The administration did some very strange things. Saying one thing, do another, which is one of the reasons why Biden is absolutely tanking in the polls.
Means passenger,
and so when you think of the number of people being thrown out, and you have folks that are saying, hey, They're not even be able to grant asylum. What are you doing? Think of Title 42. That's the law that allows the government to do that. All right, we're going to have fun in the next segment. And it's a lawsuit extraordinaire. And it has to do with crop prices. This is a lawsuit extraordinaire.